Well, hey, y'all. Welcome to Shade in the City. It's just your girl, Treese, here today. Unfortunately, Nels is out, but I am supposed to be having a special guest host, of course, Fresh, to join me. So, yeah, y'all, if you haven't already, please make sure that y'all hit that like button. Let the algorithm know that we're here. We're waiting. I hope everybody had a great Easter Resurrection Sunday. It was chill. I enjoyed a nice dinner. I actually didn't have my son for the first time. He's with grandma, so that was different. No Easter egg hunting, but it was no pressure, so I could appreciate it. But anyway, y'all, let's run this intro, and then when we get back, we're gonna look. I'm trying to get my wine together and everything because this episode was heavy, but it was a good episode. So yeah, let's get into it and let's get shady. Well, hey, Fresh.
Yo,
Happy
what up? What up?
Easter.
What up? What up?
Thank you so much for joining us and filling in for Nails. We appreciate you. We
What up,
appreciate you.
though?
What up, Doe? What up, Doe? So yeah, what did you that look at Jack in the comments. What up, Jack? What up? Look, Michelle said, let me get my wine too. Yes. And yes, we miss Nails. We miss Nails. Cortland, how are you doing this Sunday? Hope like I said, everybody had a great Easter Sunday. Ate some
Hmm.
lamb, some fish, or whatever, makes you feel closer to the Lord. Anyway, so you know, so I'm sorry. What did you think about this episode, Fresh?
This was probably the best episode
Okay, so you
so
agreed, like we
far.
said last week, it's getting better. It's getting
Yeah,
better.
it's getting better.
Okay. I'm gonna say it was good. I would have gave it a full, like I'm gonna give it like I can get a nine. I'm gonna give it a nine. And
Okay.
the only reason I can't give it like a nine and a half, 10 is because what we knew or predicted might be the outcome for Kevin.
Yeah.
So that was hard.
Yeah.
I was like,
That,
well,
that,
damn, did we have to see? But again, we kind of knew this was gonna happen. Hey Deeb, happy Easter, happy Easter. What's up, Jeremiah? Happy Easter. Welcome. Do they I'm not even trying to be funny. Jeremiah, do they celebrate that in Canada? They don't always celebrate what we celebrate over here. So I don't know.
yeah,
I just
that's
had to
true.
ask.
That's
All
true.
right. So let's jump right into it. The episode kicks off. We see Meech and Terry. They're at Greeny spot. We still haven't seen Greeny, which I did notice. And I was like, okay, so he just completely disappeared. But anyway, we see Angel giving him a lap dance, and she tells him how much she missed him. And then, Loco gets his attention and basically is, why the hell is Terry here? And so Meech explains to him that, that's my brother, and he helped, move all this weight for us. So, we're as one. We are one. That's what they was
Yeah.
on. They was one. But Loco and T finally shake it out, and then Meech tells him that they have clientele in St. Louis that they plan to go down and get his product on the streets, which makes Loco happy about to hear this news. Of course, any thoughts about that?
I mean, when I saw it, I was just like, it was like T. He had his, I don't want to say reservations, but he was already on alert.
Hmm.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like once, you know, Meech was like, this is my hermano, he gonna hold it down. I think by that point it was just like, oh, okay, it is what it is. Like, he gonna be the Detroit plug. So it was just like, Dimitri, Dimitri is very smart,
Right.
and I was just like, man, the man, I don't know why I keep calling him Dimitri, but yeah, it was just one of those. It was just like, okay, they clearly that they have so much trust in Meech. So
Right.
Loco and what's it called, they got so much trust in Meech, so much trust in Meech, where they was just like, it is what it is.
Yeah. I don't know if I really. I kind of looked at that scene and I was like, Does Loco really trust him, or is this just a I still got my eye on you type thing? But if you say so,
I mean, I think so because the way he was kind of hesitant, like he was just like really, and then he was just like okay, and then he was just like all right, we're gonna bury the hatchet, but it was still like I still don't rock with your brother. I rock with you, but I don't rock
right,
with your brother.
right. All right. Michelle said, yeah, that was sad with Kev. It's super sad.
Yeah,
Uh, right. Jeremiah said they do celebrate Easter. Okay, cool, cool.
okay.
Jack Jordan said he just got back from his favorite place,
Oh
and he
yeah,
don't
I know
think
what.
that, and he don't think that that's Greenie's spot. Why don't you? Because I could. Why doesn't he think that? I definitely thought that was Greenie's spot. Who else would it be?
So I thought so as well. Me and him, we had this conversation, and I thought it was Greeny spot as well. But he pointed out where in Magic City, he was in the back of Magic City, and he was counting the money in Magic City, and he
Okay.
said where if you want to go, where the I guess the quote unquote big ballers, whatever, we're gonna go to the platinum joint. His girls were dancing in that spot, not necessarily that was his spot. So
Oh,
he pointed
okay.
it out to me. I still think it's Granny's spot, but I mean, we still got 5 more episodes to see whether or not it is. I still think it is, but he said it wasn't. He
Okay.
pointed it out to me.
Okay, I like how you ironed it out. That makes a little bit more sense. Cortland said, I know you hate when I mention something later on, but that shootout scene was great. Yes, it was, Cortland. I really felt like I was watching like some old battle, war movie or something. It was really
Hmm.
going down on the battlefield. Jeremiah said, where is Kevin's mom at? Don't do that to Cynthia Bailey. We don't know where she at, but it's a terrible thing. She looks like a terrible mother right now. Cortland said, it's a good thing Meech brought Terry because Terry was seeing stuff that Meech wasn't seeing. I do agree with that. I
True.
do agree with that.
I agree.
I mean, however, it was my point of view on that was, I mean, he could see it, but does it really matter if Meech ain't go listen to him?
That's true.
And I understand. I know exactly what you're talking about, Cortland. But at the same, and another thing too is Meech ain't gonna listen to him. But Meech was already 10 steps ahead of him, like he told him.
Yep. That's right.
He had to remind him, I'm the older brother. So
Hmm.
okay. Mike Lee said, welcome, Mike Lee. I ain't never seen you before, but welcome, welcome.
Welcome.
Greeny is a local pimp who supplies the girls to the strip club. He doesn't own or run Platinum Palace. Okay, well, thank you for clearing that up, sir. He said that with his chest. Okay.
Yeah.
So, so then Stack shows up looking shady. He tells me she's gonna be. Did you see how Stacks came around that corner? Because it just me, or was it giving like shady?
Oh, immediately. It
Um,
immediately as soon as he came around the joint and was, yeah, what's up? Sorry for everything. And then the way, what I noticed immediately was T looked at him crazy, especially when he did a little bankhead bounce. This the dirty
right.
stuff, and he was just like who this dude? Like he knew off the jump. So yeah, I immediately recognized that. Yeah, he came off a little shady.
And shout out to Jack. I did watch y'all recap, but the acting was terrible. The acting was too shady. I was like, what is going on? But anyway, so basically he introduces him to Terry, and then they spot Remy across the club. So Meech goes running across the club and knocks him out, and then it turns into a melee, and everybody get to fight. Which do you think at first I thought that was like some type of setup, but I don't think Stacks could have known that Remy was gonna beat it and Meech would react like that.
It was a setup. It was a set. I don't think that he knew that Stack. I mean, I don't think he knew Remy was going to be there, but I definitely think it was a setup because before he even tapped Meech to even tell him that Remy was there, he kept looking off in the distance, like what I'm saying, like looking over his shoulder. So that's
Right,
what made me think, like Glock. I thought for a minute Glock was going to hit them in the club up
right.
until they showed Remy. So I think once he saw Remy there, that's when he was like, okay, this is gonna be the setup, and I'm
Gotcha.
about to set this up right now. Yeah,
All right. Jeremiah said Meech and Terry gonna get together again and they gotta go to St. Louis. I don't know. I don't know. I don't. And
Mm,
maybe that's part of the story. Maybe you could tell me, Fresh.
I think it's more so Meech that's gonna go to St. Louis, not Terry.
Mm. And because I was wondering why they was pushing that, and I was like, okay, I guess this is really part of the story because they keep really
Yeah.
keep.
Oh yeah, it's really part of the story. Yeah, it's
Okay,
really
I was
part of
like,
the
they
story.
really keep trying to force St. Louis on us, like
Yeah.
for real.
If you remember when the man, I can't even think of the name of the not season. I mean, not episode 5, but the last one doing the Jack the Rapper joint when they met the dude from St. Louis. That's why he's
Yeah.
going out to St. Louis. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Right, right, right.
Hmm.
So then we see them. Well, shout out Jeremiah. Yes, the Stacks acting was awful. But still love Two Chains the music though. But yeah, the acting is not your thing, at least not that part. So anyway, Diesel tells Meech, he had a hell of a homecoming party, and basically he's explaining that it's payback for Ty and stealing their stash. And then basically Diesel goes off and he's like, well, I always got your back. And he walks off. And then they see some dude, Stacks plans to go to Duffy's. And then they see the boxer, right?
Yeah.
What is this? Mac Attack. They see Mac
Max that.
Attack outside and he's riding a Rolls Royce. They're so impressed. They're like, oh my God, I've never done. And so then he shows them the seats with the safes, the all in. So what is it? The airtight. Let me get my
Yeah.
description right. The airtight lock safe or whatever. And so basically we obviously know the wheels are turning in Terry and Meech's head, and they probably plan to use this to transport some of their stuff.
Hmm.
But in the midst of all this, then shots ring out, and everybody get to ducking, I guess, except for poor Diesel, and he gets caught out there, and now Diesel is unalived.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
not before we learn that what is it, Francois is the one that pimped out the ride, and he's in Miami.
Yep.
So I imagine that we're going to end up seeing France. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like we're going to end up seeing
Oh
France.
yeah. I'll say if not, what see episode 5. I say at least by what episode 7, we more than likely gonna see Francois because
Yeah.
in real life, that's literally how they transported their money and bricks in limos. That's how they did it. So
Mm.
that's why um when me and Jack was talking, we said that was the Easter egg because that's literally how they did it in real life. Like,
Oh, okay.
yeah, they tricked out their limos to hide money and hide bricks and all of that stuff to transport it across, what I'm saying, across the US. So I was like, that's a little Easter egg. And I was like, oh, okay, that's how Meech got the idea to do this. I don't know if you probably thought about it. I
What?
could be wrong. Me and Jack and Jordan spoke about it, but I felt like possibly that was Mike Tyson, but it might not have been Mike.
I didn't
Only
know who he was supposed to be. I was just like, huh?
only reason why I say it was Mike because Mike was the only boxer that I knew around the time that had a Rolls Royce. That's the
See,
only
and
reason.
if I could just take I don't want to say, but if I could take a shot at it, I probably shouldn't say that either. But if I could if I was gonna try, I would say maybe Roy Jones Jr. or was he not out there?
Right at time, nah.
And
Right at time, nah.
he didn't make that much money.
I think Roy Jones they come to like what, like late '90s, 2000s. So we talking about early.
So wouldn't we be in the late 90s at this point, 2000?
Nah, we still in the early. We still like 92, 93.
Oh, okay.
Because
Wow.
Jack the Rapper happened 93. So yeah, we still in the early 90s.
Okay. All right. I guess it could, but with y'all drop in the chat, let us know who y'all thought it was supposed to be. Jeremiah said, all I'm gonna say is they're gonna lose that Colombian plug and go to Mexico. Okay. You out here dropping theories, hints. Look, Jack said, couldn't be Boy Jones. Couldn't be Boy Jones. Look, at least I didn't say Mayweather. Okay. I knew that much. Give me some, Cortland said, do y'all think that Stacks hated Meech more than Remy? I think Stacks was stupid. That's what I think, Cortland. As much as again, I may like Two Chains on the real in real life, but as far as the character, I think he was stupid, and unfortunately, I don't like disloyal people in real life and on
Mhm.
TV. So to me, that I think either way, he was gonna get himself in trouble. It was
Yeah.
gonna happen because he was just disloyal. But you have answers for that?
I mean, I think it was just more so like, yeah. I mean, I think he did. It was one of those hating situations where he just felt like he was coming in and he was taking over, Ty's crew, quote unquote, and like he just moving in and just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I think, yeah, I think Stacks did hate Meech more than Remy. Like, that's why he joined up with Glock because he wanted to take Meech out.
Mhm.
He just wasn't feeling him, especially once Meech said that like, yo, Ty, when he wasn't ready to ride on Ty right then and there, that's what Stacks was just like, oh, okay, this how you are. And Stacks wanted, I think if Meech would have said, all right, let's ride on him right now, Stacks probably be like, okay, he cool. But the fact that I'm sorry, the fact that Meech said, nah, we gonna get him, but not right now, that's why
Right.
Stacks wasn't rocking with him.
Well, I thought that was more because he wouldn't let him call the shots. You understand what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But I hear what you're saying. Jeremiah said Meech already knew he couldn't trust him because he was the loudest person, and the loudest person in the room is a snake. I could agree, but I don't know how I feel about that because often I'm the loudest person in the room. So Portland said Stacks and Meech reminds me of Jannard and Tommy from Force.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
okay. I could.
that's
That's actually a good comparison. Okay,
that's a
Cortland.
good comparison. That's a good
Yeah, that's a
comparison.
good one. All right, so then we see Meech. She's down at Duffy's, and he lets the crew know that he just got off the phone with Diesel's mom, and he plans to take care of all the funeral costs as he often does. And then basically Stacks blames Remy for the pow pow situation and
Hmm.
believes it's retaliation for jumping him in the club. Which this is the part where I think it was setting him up, if that makes it, like when he told him, "Oh yeah, it was retaliation," because we know that
Hmm.
that's not really what it was, or it wasn't really them.
Yep.
But anyway, so yeah, Meech says that basically he got a time limit. Okay, and it's not long. We'll just put it like that. And so anyway, they plan to roll up to Techwood and confront them. Everybody thinks this is impossible and a little bit stupid because he basically, as we know, Remy has the whole neighborhood working for him. And that look, I'm getting like Cortland now. I don't want to jump ahead, but that little boy took me. I need to pour another glass. Oh, anyway. So Stacks lets him know that basically he got a chick in Techwood that sneaks him in and out. So Meech plots to sneak up on them in the evening when they're not expecting it. And T, stops his planning and basically reminds him that, yo, we gotta go to St. Louis. We gotta get this money by tomorrow. And get it moving out there. But Meech basically doesn't agree and feels like they got violated. And what he say, when you violate, you gotta demonstrate. And I said, oh, well,
Hmm.
that's a new one, you know. I said,
Yeah.
okay. Hey, Marcella, where you been? How you been? Happy Easter. I'm an OG, guys. Sorry, I mean, here life and work happened, but back, love, love. Love you
Hey.
too, boo. We missed you. Um, so yeah, your thoughts about that scene?
Yeah, man. I was just like, I saw where T was coming from, and it's crazy because this whole episode, T was like the smart one. He was a logical one. He was thinking with his mind, where Meech was the one reacting off of his just off of emotions.
Right.
And normally it's the opposite. It's normally like the 180. So I was just like, really? I was like, that's what we getting. But I agree with T on this. It was just like, yo, like, nah, like, let's think about this for a second. And he just off the nah, we about to demonstrate, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we
I'm gonna have to agree with you. I don't want to, but I'm gonna have to agree with you on that. T was, he was the better head this episode, but I usually don't see it for T. I usually don't see it for T, but this particular episode, he had a little bit more damn sense than Meech. So I'm gonna
yeah,
give him that.
yeah.
Jeremiah said Meech learned a lot from K9. You got to demonstrate. When did K9 say that? You remember that,
I mean,
or is he just saying
I vaguely remember, but I mean, I think it was just more so. But see, this is also where I thought where like because Meech had told T like, "Yo, I'm 10 steps ahead of you."
it?
So
Hmm.
I thought at the same time, like, "Yo, he's doing this because he's also trying to figure out." the way that Stacks is moving.
Right.
Because he told T, he was like, "Yo, I'm already 10 steps ahead of you. Like I'm the big bro, so I already know." So I figure like at the same time, like he's doing this like, yeah, I'm going to get back at for the people. You know what I'm saying? That took out Diesel, etc. or whatnot. But he had already put oh man, I can't even think of her name right now.
Oh, okay. Look at the chat. Mike. Mike Lee said K9 told him that in season 2, episode 3, when they violate, you got to demonstrate. Oh, because you know what? Thank you, Mike. You literally, when you cited it like that, it literally ran the scene back in my head. What you're talking about. I know
Yep.
exactly. Okay. Got you. Thank you for that. Cortland says Stacks had a woman on the inside letting him know that Meech was there. I know Cortland, but look, she could have went too, but I don't want to say that. But anyway, if y'all haven't already, I'm looking at the likes. I see y'all up here. Please make sure you hit the like button. Get us in the algorithm.
Right. Hit that like and subscribe button.
Oh, and the subscribe. Look, you on your job. You on the job.
That's right.
Look, your terrible paying part-time job. We appreciate you. So then anyway, we do see Charles. He's sitting down with Sister Riley, and he shares that him and Lucille have been having challenges. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was not sure how this scene was gonna go.
I knew it.
And honestly, maybe it is. Look, we miss you, Nels, but I literally said maybe it was meant for her not to be here for this live because y'all know she would have tore Charles up. Okay. But anyway, so he's written out this whole song for her. And hopes that this will fix things. So he wants to get the band together to learn it. She's like, sure, we can get that done in one afternoon. And she's all, giving him the loving church. See, this is what I'm saying. They won't even a church pat. You know how people give you the hug and they give you the no, that wasn't even a church. She was holding his hand. And if I was old girl, what was Estelle? At first, I thought so for a second, I thought Estelle was Mabel. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I couldn't really. So my notes originally say Mabel, but if I was Estelle, I would have came over and slapped the shit out of her hand. That's just me. I'd be like, you nasty heifer, he's married. But but anyway, so basically, yeah, and then Estelle is in the background lurking, and so of course, she looked ready, she looked good and ready to go run tell that. And we all know that that's what she gonna do. Your thoughts?
I knew that. I knew it off jump. When I saw the pics for episode 5, and I saw that whole scenario, clear as day, you can see Charles giving
raw dog Charles.
The way Estelle says Charles, she put the R on it. He gives it. He's giving Sister Riley the like the music. It's a sheet of music. So I knew immediately. I was like, okay, this has something to do with Lucille, because I was like, it didn't make sense. I was like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he felt last episode once he saw like the whole check from Dr. Maurice, but I was like, yo, this whole season he's been fighting to get Lucille back. So I was just like, immediately, just out of nowhere, he's like, oh, whatever, I'm done.
Well, if you remember in the previews, I didn't understand it either, but then I remembered watching the preview before the episode came on, and I said, well, why would they go all the way back and show Lucille asking her if she slept with him? And when she showed up, I said, that's why.
Yeah, I remember that. So, but that's how I knew immediately. I said, he's trying to. Now, I didn't know it was gonna go to the point of where like he's trying to get her to create a song for her, but I knew it wasn't to the point where like, oh, he's trying to do something with her. I knew immediately. It was just like, yo, I just need your help, because the whole thing with Lucille. Like I said, once I saw that picture and it was like a sheet of music, I was like, oh yeah, he's just trying to get her. And of course, Cousin Estelle, she immediately, all she saw was, and I get it, she saw the hands. It was just like, and I was just like, shorty, like, how you didn't see beforehand before they was holding hands?
It don't matter. It'd be different if she was right up like sitting. But first of all, she can't hear the conversation. If it was my homegirl and she saw the person I'm dealing with, that close and you're no. It don't matter. It don't matter. You better run tell that. Absolutely. Tell what you
But
saw. It ain't
but
it
she,
ain't her job to decipher and figure out. He put himself in a situation that he wouldn't have wanted to see her in. I said that is always the rule for men and women. Don't put yourself in a situation that you wouldn't want me in.
I get it, but she waited a whole day though. She waited the next day to tell Lucille that, so it couldn't have been that serious. Because that same
Maybe
day,
she had something to do that day. She got her own
nah,
damn
nah,
business
nah,
to
nah, nah,
worry
nah,
about.
nah. If I'm
And
saying that,
it's not like they got cell phones at this point, or maybe they do, but they
I
ain't
mean,
got
they ain't got no
one.
cell phones, but I'm sure
So
she could have
she probably
easily
called
went
at the house,
home.
and she was probably at work at Wendy's or something, and she missed it. It's not
Nah,
like it's not like it is today where everybody is easy access, or you just fall in somebody's DM or something. It's not like that.
nah. That same day, she could have easily ran to a payphone, or when she got to the crib, she could have called the crib and said, "Hey, yo, Lucille, I seen Charles at the diner, and he hugged up with some other woman." It was the fact that she waited till a whole day. She said the other day. So I was like, am I?
I really feel like you're really filling in for nails for real today. Like for real. But no, I get what you're saying. You feel like, oh, she waited, so she just added some more stank on it,
Yeah,
by waiting. But
I mean,
I don't
Estelle just
know.
want her to get to, just want her to get with Dr. Maurice. That's all it was.
Well,
You
that's
know.
what good friends do. They want you to move up and move on. Cortland said they should have met somewhere else when that woman saw Charles. Yeah. Jeremiah said Charles and Nels are friends. Thank God y'all know you lucky she ain't here, but please understand when she watched the playback, she will be in your behind, Jeremiah.
Ooh.
You forget,
Yeah.
we do have your DM, okay? She probably will be sliding.
Yeah.
He also said Estelle pissed me off. She acted like they were making love or something. Don't do that,
How?
Jeremiah. That
How?
it does. It's perception. That's all. It's perception. It's not about what it was. It's how it's perceived. Okay. Now, Jack says she just wants Lucy to get her back cracked by the good doctor. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think he's in chiropractic, but hey, you know, Estelle is not even married. She's trying to get married though. She know what she don't want to see her man doing. That's all I'm saying. At least look, at least Estelle is out here hollering at single men.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Look, D said Estelle should have pulled up to that table. She absolutely should have.
I
Estelle,
was.
Estelle just looked from afar and just assumed he cheating. That's okay. Again, it's all perception. Doesn't Estelle work at the diner?
No.
No, I don't think so, D. I don't think
Mm-mm.
so.
Mm-mm.
But all right. So then we see Bryant. He's getting out of jail after the whole situation with Meech and the pilot. And basically Henry's guys are the one that got him out,
Yeah.
which I was like, oh, surprising. So then this scene really threw me off, y'all. Okay, so then so basically he lets him know that they get in the car. He's like, oh, Henry feels like you owe her, right? Now all of a sudden, I don't know, it just got really eerie. Like I really thought they was just picking brother. I mean, I thought that they were taking him to Henry, is what was my impression. So I was a little shocked when I see him start to get nervous and he's like, oh, can I smoke a cigarette? And then when he keep eyeing the dude behind him, and I was like, oh, something ain't together. And then when he moved over a little bit and we see him, pull out the knife and everything. And so I was just confused because as he's lighting the lighter, and the guy from in the back, I don't know what his name was, but the guy in the back, he goes to, his throat, and then he puts the lighter. The guy beside him is like elbowing. It was just so confusing because I think somebody said, why didn't they just stop the car? And both of them beat him up like it's 2 against 1. But for whatever reason, he decided to try to keep driving and elbowing while old boy gets burnt in the head with the lighter. And then Bryant ends up being able to tuck and roll out the car. That's what it was. It was a tuck and roll.
It was. It
Um,
was.
so your thoughts on that scene, Fresh?
Bro. So off jump, I was lost because, like you, they went and got him from out of jail. So I was like, okay, so immediately they know Bryant got locked up. So I
Hmm.
was like, okay, cool. But immediately, as
I
soon
thought
as
that
they,
would have saved him though. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
she was upset because he didn't show up. So in my
exactly.
opinion, it's like, oh well, if you know he's locked up, you know he didn't just ditch you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
This is what happened. But I guess she was like, I don't give a damn what happened. I know you didn't deliver.
Exactly. So I was thinking that same way. And then when they showed the dude in the back, I said, oh, okay, they about to get try to take him out.
Right.
But I was trying to figure out, I was like, yo, why y'all trying to take him out? Well, y'all just bailed him out. So I was immediately, I was Brian. I was like, oh, okay. I see what y'all doing. Like, because immediately my antennas in real life would have went up like, oh, okay, you got somebody in the back. He's
Right.
sitting in the middle. He's sitting behind me. Okay, y'all trying to take me out. So at the same time, I was just like, I was like you. I was like, bruh, he could have easily just stopped the car, hit the brakes,
Right.
pulled over, whatever, and y'all could have took him out. But the simple fact that you trying to fight and trying to drive, and then the
It
other
was on some
dude,
old Mission Impossible Die Hard. Like I didn't understand. I was like, what is this?
I'm like, he done took the cigarette lighter, he done burnt you on the face,
Right.
he done took the knife,
And you know that had to hurt. If you remember them old school, you know that had to hurt.
and at the same time, he still got a cigarette in his mouth.
Right.
I'm just like, yo, I was just like, this whole scene, I was like, yo. And then, like you said, like me and Jack, we said the way he took off after he did the tuck and roll, after he ran off, I was
The
like,
tuck and roll, right.
I was expecting them to stop the car and chase after him. They never did. And I was like, yo, y'all
That's
could have
another
caught
thing. They just let him run. So you did all that. I'm with Henry. Y'all clearly can't get the job done. And
can't.
what makes me the only thing I don't like about him, well, it's a lot of things I don't like about Henry, but one thing that really bothers me about this character is that how can you go? It seems like she goes so hard for on everybody else, but this Tyson and Twan, which is no longer with us, I guess because they family, she just let them slide. Because isn't this the second time Tyson done messed up?
Mm,
I feel like
So Twan was the one who
he's
was with,
gone now because Bryant.
he's
Yeah,
gone, but they don't know, she doesn't know that Bryant was the one that took Twan out. It was
right.
Tyson that was the one that was supposed to be in there, but he never went. So this is Tyson's mess. This is him messing up because he was the one that was supposed to help whatever dude name in the back take him out. So that's why when they show up and she looks in the back and was like, "Yo, where Brian at?" And they like, "Oh, he got away." And they like, she like, "Okay, what's good?" Like,
Mhm.
but I think that's why, because it was just like, that's her cousin, that's her blood, so she not ready to take him out like immediately. But I think I kind of feel like at some point before the season over, she might end up taking him out.
Yeah, I was just shocked. I was like, why are we not taking it? I don't know. I just felt like it was misdirected anger a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
D says completely off topic, but why their house always looks like it's under construction? Because he's still working on that drywall, after now look, I guess the drywall wasn't working, so now he's writing songs,
Oh
we got
yeah, yeah, he ain't did nothing.
right. Cortland says Bryant knew that Henrietta's guys would try to off him. It's like he had experience. Well, I mean, no, he was hip, and I applaud him for being hip. Jeremiah says so. Charles supposed to not have women friends at all, not after what he did. No, he can't. No, he can't have no women friends. No, nope, not today, Satan. Not today, Charles. Nope. Uh, Jack said, "Nah, Bryant shouldn't have been in that car. People sit behind you, and you're in that life should make you nervous." I mean, I get what you're saying. He had no choice. I mean, I guess where else she got him out, or else he
Yeah.
would have been sitting in jail. It's not like Detective Jen came and got him out.
I mean, but even still,
Because
I was
honestly,
thinking
that's
like,
who I thought got him out. That's who when
oh, you thought Jen?
I thought Jen had come to bail him out. But Jeremiah said, "Oh, he shouldn't have gotten the car. Don't sit in the back of me."
don't.
Are y'all also one of them people that have to sit facing the door? Nels is that person. She drives me crazy when we go out. She can't sit with her back to the door, and I don't
Oh, yeah,
understand.
yeah. No. I gotta sit. I gotta see.
Really, I don't
I
be.
mean,
I sit with my back to the street. I don't be caring. I don't be
no.
caring. I don't think it makes much deal. Henrietta is trash. She's a cartoon character. I absolutely agree. I'm not crazy about her character. I bring Lamar back, please. Cortland said, if Terry was still there, do y'all think that Bryant could have went to him for his son's protection? I absolutely think that, Cortland. And it was funny because I was actually just having this conversation. But if y'all think Bryant was mad before, as we all know, what happens to Kevin later on in the episode, he really gonna have a fire up under his ass for Meech and Terry now.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He's definitely gonna feel away.
For sure.
So yeah, so then we see that basically T is giving Meech the business about, you know, how he's out in Atlanta starting wars, and Meech lets him know that, you know, this all happened before he got there, but he has to, you know, hold Detroit down, you know, be like Jack, what up though? He got a rep, you know what I'm saying? And so Terry accuses him of, you know, making it about him and questions why he's going so hard for some people that he just met for real, for real. And I was like, Terry, you have valid points this episode. Damn.
Exactly.
But Meech lets him know that, you know, he's going so hard because it's Ty's crew. And again, points out that the most important part of BMF is the big old family. Okay. And so, and he's not abandoning his family and not his whore. And, you know, the other little peoples that scattered around him. And with Mo's sister, you know, the what's her name again?
Oh, damn. Oh.
I have it later on in the episode. I just don't remember right now. But
Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, T tells him that he's trying to cap Remy on his own turf and is stupid. And basically relates his move to, I don't know if he meant to say or if the writers or editor did he meant to say Viet Cong war, or were they?
I think it did. I think it did. I think
Because
because
T can't be that smart and say Viet Cong.
well, I mean, remember T is book smart, so like
But T is the one that said it. That's why I'm like,
I think that's what he meant. I think he meant it on purpose because he was trying to show like, hey, like this is why. Yeah, he's book smart. So I think he was trying to he was trying to tell him, but of course Meech don't want to hear that because Meech is
okay, no, but see, I heard Viet Cong, not Vietnam.
oh, I mean Viet Cong. Okay, so Viet Cong was still a part of Vietnam.
Okay.
Yeah, it was still part of Vietnam. So if you, I'm trying to think of the name of the movie, Denzel. If you watch,
Okay. Look, Mike, come through. Yes, the
yeah,
Viet Congs are the North Vietnamese army
yeah,
of the U.S. Okay, come through. Look,
yeah.
y'all teach me something now, because I was about to be like, T, what the hell are you talking? Did you just rename a whole war that happened in history? I was confused, y'all. Thank you for clearing that up, Mike.
I'm trying to think of the name of the movie, American Gangster. So if you watch American Gangster, where Denzel, he plays Frank Lucas.
Yes.
Yeah, during that time, we were fighting Viet Cong. We were fighting the Viet Cong. So like that's where he was that's why he flew overseas to, you know, to get his pure weight and all that other stuff. But yeah, so when T said it, I knew immediately what he was talking about. And he was literally saying why we lost, because we went to Vietnam, we went to their home soil to try to fight them, try to fight the Viet Congs. They had the advantage. So he was trying to tell Meech, like, yo,
I thought he was saying it trying to be funny or something. Like, I really did not. That's why I was like, but now that y'all cleared that up for me, that was a different, but
it was real.
Okay.
Yeah, it was real. Yeah, that was Vietnam. Yeah. Yep, that was Vietnam.
So anyway, so yeah, basically Meech feels like they won't be expecting them, so it's a perfect time to roll up on them and, you know, basically hit them in their weak spot. And basically he's just really not hearing what Terry has to say. And I think this is when, as we always talk about, this sibling rivalry comes in, or dynamic, because Terry's trying to talk some sense into him, and Meech is like, I'm gonna do what I want to do because I'm Meech. Yeah. Cortland, if y'all were in BMF, would y'all be in Meech's crew or Terry's? Meech's, of course. That's not hard.
Not hard at all. Meech.
Right. I mean, yeah, Terry seems stingy and he seems sensitive at the heart, and I ain't got time. Meech seemed like he take care of the bitch. I'm saying,
Meech easily.
I mean, even though he'll put you back out on the street and be like, continue shaking your ass. Anyway, so then we see Stacks riding with Meech and the crew around so they can find like the blind spots or weaknesses of getting into the Techwood projects or whatever. And so Stacks lets him know that Remy and Claude apparently get in pretty late at night from the club and they're also drunk. So basically, they'll never see them coming. And I don't know. I could tell this whole thing was a setup. And I didn't understand why Meech, I mean, he might have had a clue or inkling, but I just knew by him. Like it just seemed, I don't know. Maybe because I'm a viewer. I'm watching from the outside, so I don't know.
You
But
said
it
because
just
maybe
felt like
you're a
when I
what?
watched it. Huh?
You said because maybe you're a what?
A viewer.
Oh, viewer. Okay. No, you're right because I didn't understand it from where you have. It's three of y'all. Your car's not tinted out. It's not smashed
Right.
out.
You
It's
got
no dent.
windows down.
Y'all in a fishbowl in a Monte Carlo, and it's black, and you driving through Techwood slow. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like at no point in time, nobody. And remember later on in the episode, I mean, I don't want to jump, but you see people in Techwood, they were on the roof.
Right.
So nobody on the roof saw this
They was
car
on that.
coming through. Exactly.
I've seen that in LA where they sit on the roof and do this.
Yeah. They clapping for the
Yeah.
pigeons. They letting y'all know. So
Right.
nobody on them roofs, nobody in Techwood saw this black car sliding through with all three of y'all, even though y'all supposed to be incognito. Y'all got glasses on, but y'all got y'all hoodies on. And I was just like, yo, how nobody don't pay attention? It's y'all.
Right.
Like like at some point, like
And it's not like they were driving at high speed where nobody could see them. No, they were creeping through the joint.
they were creeping through.
They were like, please look at me.
Like I'm like, yo, I'm thinking about like, yo, when I was back in the hill, I'm like, yo, if that was my ops, I'd be like, yo, who car this is? Who
Right.
and I'm just like, they just sitting there, they just got it. And I that saying I didn't like because I felt like that was unrealistic. Because I
Agreed.
was just like, it's no way your ops is not going to know you slide through their hood like that, especially if they quote unquote got their hood locked down like that. Somebody would have saw that.
Right, right. All right. Cortland says while Stacks was driving, he was probably thinking of his plan to off Meech. His plan or Glock's plan, but I hear what you're saying. Because Stacks gives me such do boy energy. I don't see how he was really leading anything. I think maybe that's why he was Ty's like right hand, or you know what I'm saying? He gives me
Mm-hmm.
very do boy energy, but he doesn't give me leader energy at all. Um,
Exactly.
Stacks probably had everybody on the roof on payroll.
Nah.
Stacks, no, Stacks didn't have that much power, Portland. I'm sorry, I can't give you that one. Um, would have let one go at the Monty.
Right. Right, King Rush Road. Exactly.
Okay,
You slide through my hood like that, I'll be like, who this? Bow. I ain't even about to find
right.
out.
We ain't about to. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. All right. Um, and so then we basically see Amberson. She comes from Paul Amberson, but I ain't gonna sit here and say that I wasn't ready for the go. Because what I didn't want was a love scene, which we were clearly getting ready to get if we didn't cut this off. So I hate to say it, but somebody had to go, whether it be her or Jen, somebody. But Emerson comes back from questioning Lenny, which is y'all know was the guy who got caught up in the van situation, and they went and questioned him, or the ambulance. He was basically on his third strike, so he decided to snitch. He told her that he got the ambulance for Twan, who works for Henry. So now they trying to put together the dots on who Henry is, and then Jen wants to know, and then Amberson wants to know who the ambulance driver was, and he's like, well, the ambulance driver would know who Henry is, and as we know, Detective Jen knows that the ambulance driver was Bryant. So, yeah, what'd you think about that?
I was actually I was shocked to see that what's her name? I didn't think that Jim was gonna reveal it. like I didn't think Jen was going to reveal to Amberson like the whole situation with Bryant. I thought she was going to keep that to herself.
Mm-hmm.
So I was actually shocked to see that, you know, that's what she ended up telling her when she said, like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll tell you, but we got to leave up out of here. I was also, I mean, we said it last week that we knew immediately dude was just going, you know, he was going to snitch. We
Right.
knew off the jump. So, but I just wish like we would have saw that interrogation as to,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying, and what led up to him snitching, because it would have had to be something, because what she say, Amberson said something about what, ice cream? Yeah, Amberson said something like, "Oh yeah, I got him ice cream."
Right.
Like, bruh, ain't no man. I mean, well,
On
I
your
mean,
third strike.
I get it, but
On
you're
your
not gonna
third
snitch
strike.
for
If
no
you
ice cream.
I look, if you tell me I ain't got to go to jail and spend the rest of my life, because usually what the three strike rule was, if you did, you were going, or you have
Mm-hmm,
to serve the rest of your time, which whatever that was of
mm-hmm.
your original sentence. Am I right or wrong? Don't
Yeah.
get me out here acting like I really know the law like that, because I don't really be
Oh
doing
no,
it.
your third strike, you in there for life.
That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, again, I don't do those type of things, but
But I
if
mean,
if
but you
somebody
know,
told me is this is your last chance, but guess what? I might be in witness protection. I might be
yes,
in
but
that.
you're not about if they came to you, the detective was just like, okay, you know what, you tell us what you know, we're gonna get you some Ben and Jerry's. You're gonna be like, I don't want no Ben and Jerry's.
I'd
And
be like the cookie dough or you the Talenti. We had this whole conversation about Talenti. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm not the one. Don't you know?
I mean, I get it, but you're not off the jump. You're not about to just snitch just for some ice cream. Is what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm not snitching for ice cream to save myself.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Uh, Jacka Jordan says Southwest T should have sat behind Stacks, if you know what I mean. What do you mean, Jacka Jordan? Like, let me stop. Don't put that in the comments. If what I'm thinking is what you're thinking. Um, Cortland saying Jen thought Henrietta was a man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think that's gonna probably throw them off for a second, or probably throw her off for a second until Bryant actually explains to her what's going on. But
I don't
anyway,
think he ever is, but I mean,
you don't think
the
so?
name he never did. But I mean, when we get to it, but the word Henry, of course, you're gonna think it's a dude because it's
Right,
Henry.
right. All right, so then we see Henry at her workshop, or that's what I'm gonna call it. When Tyson returns without Bryant, so he lets her know that he got away, and so this obviously makes her upset. And she still wants Meech and Terry's ass along with Bryant. They reassure her that they'll get him for what happened to Twan. Then she challenges unfortunately his name is still the boy in the back seat. I didn't get his name, but she challenges the boy in the back seat to a fight. He doesn't want to fight a girl. This starts to piss her off. So then she starts to whoop his ass. Only for he doesn't fight back. And then she says, "Oh, so I'm supposed to feel bad for you because, or no, I guess he was trying to play a victim because he was a little injured because Bryant had roughed him up from the front seat. So
He
yeah,
also stabbed him.
he had a rough day. So anyway, so then she goes and ends up cutting herself, which was weird. And again, whatever. And then I guess to make it a fair fight, then starts to wail on his ass again. And then when he does starts to fight back and really almost kind of get the best of her, she Jason's him to not be here is what my notes say in the cleanest
Yeah.
way possible. But y'all get what I'm saying. It was that's what it was giving. She did that. And I just feel like that's so dirty. That's another thing that really did make me didn't like her. Because my whole thing is you're such a hater. How are you like you challenge him to a fight and beat him up until he really has no point but to fight you. And then when he starts to get the best of you, then you go and like, I don't know. I just thought that was some pussy shit. I'm sorry. I did.
You're not by yourself. I mean, I hated the scene because I was just like, yo, I felt them because I was like, yo, I was the same way. Like, yo, you're a woman. I'm not gonna hit you.
Right.
But me and Jack, we spoke about it, and I was like, yo, off that second hit, I'd have been like, oh, gloves is off. Like, okay, this what we doing. Okay. All right, yeah, you about to feel you about to get touched. And I was just like, yo, like really? Like I just felt like at the end of the day, it just felt so unrealistic because I was like, yo, there's no way. I was like, you got testosterone in your body. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's no way that if you got your testosterone is flowing and you fighting her, there's no way she should have even been able to get to that blade. Like, easily, I'd have been like, as soon as he, you know what I'm saying, he got it by the throat, I'm like, okay, I'm just about to give you some shots. Like,
Right.
it is what it is. And I'm just like, it just made her look like she's like some type of superhuman because, like you said, she cut herself first. And I was just like,
Right.
when she did that, I was like, oh, shorty crazy. I was like,
Right.
oh, immediately in my mind, if that was real life, I'd have been like, oh, nah,
I
you
wouldn't
know,
want to mess with her. I
I'd
would
have
go
like,
in the opposite direction.
I'd
I'd
have
be like,
like,
this is real crazy.
I'd have been like, nah, I gotta shoot you because you crazy.
Right.
Like
I'm not, yeah.
like you cutting yourself, you crazy, shorty. But then once I had you by the neck, you know what I'm saying? And I was just like, yeah, man. It was just one of them joints, and it just made her look like a superhero because it was just like she was easily just able to get to that little blade, and then just and now you gone. You know what I'm saying? See, right, King. She would have got hands and feet.
Hands and feet. He said, I'm talking Harlem Night style.
Exactly. Right. I'm talking
Y'all
about
are
Tim. She would have had
crazy.
an imprint of a Tim on her face by the time I was done.
And honestly, I would have expected, honestly, how I saw it playing out is that I knew he wasn't going to leave that situation, but I would have thought he got the best of her and then Tyson jumped in or some of the other guys jumped in. But I definitely didn't see it being, because I don't know. I just thought that was a messed up way to go. Could y'all see Bryant only helping Terry to take down Henrietta?
Nope.
No, no. Don't ever see that alliance happening.
Nope.
If anything, I think he would help Henry try to get to what he was hired to do. His job is to help Henry get to. Would have had that on the crossface chicken. You are terrible. Michelle A said, yeah, she crazy. Mrs. Zulu 7, hello, welcome. Made old girl look like some supernatural hood witch or something. Yes, and it was really crazy. But hey, I guess we need to be worried about good old Henrietta. Jack is hilarious. But yeah, this is a problem when I'm, the lead host. I'm gonna take a quick break, y'all. But y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. I'm gonna run the intro and I'll be back. All right, I'm back, y'all. Sorry for the wait. All right, y'all. So we see, and this was actually a terrible. So how many people did we lose this episode? Because now that I'm going through it, I'm like, damn, we lost hella people. But yeah. Three? We lost 3, 4. I feel like we lost at least.
Well, we don't know about Amberson yet. Six main character. Wait a minute. Okay, so we
I
lost
wouldn't count
Kevin.
Kevin as a. I guess he could be a main.
Yeah, Kevin. Okay, so Kevin is gone. We lost Kevin. We lost Rip.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say because that's what I'm about to go.
Amberson, we don't know yet,
I think we're gonna lose Amberson, and it's okay.
and that's it.
It's okay. Don't fight it. Don't fight it. Don't
Yeah,
fight
that's it. We didn't. What six main characters? Yeah, Mike Lee, let us know because that's only three. We haven't lost any like main characters.
Or I guess he's saying maybe I don't know. Was it Mike? Jump down in the comments. So anyway, we do
Oh,
see
Diesel 4. Okay.
Diesel 4. Okay. So we see Rip. He's working on the music. I thought this was basically setting us up for what was going to happen later on because he's making music and he's still running the streets with Meech. Meech lets him know he don't really want him out here running the street like that. He wants him to focus on getting his music out there and stay out the streets. And oh, 2 Chainz, good point. And so yeah, basically he tells him, and he's like, "Oh, well, keep this music so if I don't make it, you can get it out." And I was like, "So basically, y'all letting us know he not gonna be here at the end of this episode."
Mm-hmm.
Was what they were setting us up for. And then Terry comes in and he's asking about Stacks, and he brings up how Duffy told him he's the new Be Missing. I said, "Oh, shady," and questions why he would let him back in the crew. And that's when Meech tells him that family deserves grace and that he's 10 steps ahead and reminds him that he's the big brother. Your thoughts on that?
I honestly, the first time I saw it,
Got you, Mike.
I thought Meech was lying to T that said that he was 10 steps ahead of him. I
Mm-hmm.
thought he was just like, well, he just running him some game to say because he was just like, he didn't want to acknowledge like T was right. So I
Mm.
felt like he was just saying like, I'm already 10 steps ahead of you. I feel like I'm the older brother. I feel like he was just running some game on him until later on. I was like, oh, okay, Meech wasn't really running no game on him. Meech really was 10 steps ahead of him. So it kind of shocked me when I figured it out. But like I said, since like Jump, it was just a 180 for me, and it was shocking because up into this episode, we saw like how T is just one of those like he doesn't think streetwise. He just thinks from books and
Right.
you know what I'm saying. So for him to think like streetwise, I was shocked. I was like, oh, T is on point. So when T was just like, yeah, like he ain't show up, like, you know what I'm saying? And I heard from Duffy, like, y'all had this little falling out, like, why you let him back in? And I caught that same thing where he said it was just like, this like another B Mickey situation. And
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, okay. And I thought when he said that, I thought we was gonna get maybe like either a flashback of B Mickey
Right.
or like maybe I already knew B Mickey wasn't gonna show up in this season, but I thought maybe we was gonna get the flashback or maybe it was just gonna be like something to, be Mickey
To
in
rekindle
general.
our memory, rejog our memory. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, like rejog the memory. Yep, exactly. So I was shocked that they didn't show Big Mickey.
Mm. All right, so let's go through these. Yeah, Jack said Kevin, Diesel, Rip. Mike said Diesel, Rip, Kevin, Kobe. What am I, Kobe? Who's that?
Detective Colby Emerson.
Oh, okay, okay. Milton. Who the hell is Milton?
Oh, the little boy.
Oh, not Lil Milton. Oh, I'm glad that you know his name. Thank you, Mike. That was helpful.
Yeah,
And
I don't think he's the main character though.
yeah, no, he said he didn't mean main characters, just speaking parts.
Okay.
Michelle said 2 Chainz. Mike said 2 Chainz, and Jack jumped in and said Stacks. Cortland said, "Is Blue Da Vinci the inspiration for Rip?" This is probably more of a question for you.
I mean, Portland, that's possible. The way they telling the story. I don't think it is yet because Lou Da Vinci didn't come into the fold of BMF until like late '90s, like early 2000s, because he was like quote unquote the only like artist of BMF like entertainment. So it could be the inspiration for Rip, but they didn't meet in real life, they didn't meet Blue Da Vinci yet. I was about to say, you might put your hand. It's your show.
No, I ain't gonna interrupt you. I'm trying to get better about that. Self-awareness. I know I cut people off and it's terrible. No, but I thought, and maybe I'm wrong, and I know you and Jack will correct me, and y'all, rest of y'all in the comments, but I could have sworn that BMF was behind Jeezy, Fab, a lot of other hip hop. Or am I wrong about that? Now, maybe they weren't signed to, but I've, again, heard stories being in Miami. I heard that they were behind Jeezy. I heard they were behind Fab. I might even say, was it Gucci? I don't know if Gucci was a part of that, but I know there's several people that I felt like I was told that definitely had BMF backing money.
Yeah, but this is still, but even with Jeezy, like I said, at this time, we're talking about 93. We didn't hear about Jeezy till early 2000s.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, so it's just like, even still during around that time, like, okay, so as far as like Gucci wanted to be like tied in with BMF, but not saying like they didn't rock with Gucci, but it was more so like Gucci was quote unquote robbing too many folks, so like that's why they didn't have him in the fold. But I mean, they was cool with Fab. Jeezy was locked in, with the hold on. I mean, he was never a BMF artist.
Yeah, and look, I knew Jack was gonna come for me and set me straight. He was never a BMF artist.
Yeah. Jeezy was never a BMF artist. He was tied in with the crew, but he was never a BMF artist. The only BMF artist was Blue Da Vinci. He was an affiliate.
Okay.
But it was just one of those things where, like, yeah, it's not like too late to like, early 2000s. It's, I want to say, what, maybe after the whole.
Well, he said Jack said Blue came in 2000, 2001.
Yeah, like 2000, 2001. Yeah, around that time. Because I want to say,
you can't type this information. It's too much.
I'm trying to think of the Boys in the Hood where Jeezy was with the whole Boys in the Hood joint, because it was kind of around that time, and like before then, because when he did the Air Forces song, like all of BMF, because matter of fact, Meech is in that video.
The Air Force ones?
The joint where he was
not Nelly, give me two pair.
Not that one. Not that one. Not that one.
I've never seen him in that video.
The joint where Jeezy say, you wouldn't walk a mile in a pair of my block of Air Forces.
Okay.
Meech is in that video.
Look, you don't have me pull up my good old YouTube after we get off of here.
Look it up. That video, Meech, BMF, Da Vinci is in it. I mean, Blue Da Vinci is in it. Like, they in that video.
Mm.
They in that video.
Jack also said, he's telling Cortland, he doesn't think that Rip is inspiration for Blue Da Vinci. Cortland said that lets you know if Stax was in Terry's crew, Terry would not let him back in when Stax called. Absolutely not. Well, you know what? We can't say that, Cortland, because he a damn fool for Markeisha and keep letting her back in. So,
and I meant it, and I just saw this, and I don't know what it is now, but before, what we in 2023? Yeah.
2024.
Oh, 2024. 2023, he posted the real T in his Instagram page. Him and the quote unquote Markeisha, he posted a picture of him and the Markeisha after he got out, like they still cool, which is Tanya Welch.
Okay, yeah. Oh no, I thought it was Tonisha.
He posted that they still cool. So it was like, that was like the love of his life. So if you ever go on Instagram and you look up Southwest T Instagram page, you're going to see that. So I guess that is still cool to this day. I don't know, but if you go back, it was last year he posted it with no problem. So
you really know how to grind my gears, don't you? Jack said Blue was the president and only artist of BMF Entertainment. Well, that's kind of terrible, especially when they had all them celebrity friends. Just saying. Boys in the Hood was 2004, 2005. Them Boys dropped in 2005.
Okay, well,
them boys like franchise. Them Boys.
Nah.
Oh, okay.
Nah, this was the joint. It was Jeezy, Jody Breeze, them boys
Them
in the
boys,
building,
something out
everything
of
for
pocket.
profit.
But yeah,
I
nine
mean,
on the corner,
on the
some
corner
my,
vibe,
my rap
yeah.
my rap is off, y'all. If it was a song, I would have it, but my rap is
Yeah, it was around that time. Okay, King Retro. I don't have the powers to Google at this moment. So
right. He on it though. I love it. So then we see Lucille, okay, meeting up with Miss Fleming from church. She asked her, she sits down, she lets her know, we want you to be assistant pastor. Was that correct? Assistant pastor?
yep.
Okay. And basically, and my notes say probably because of that very large healthy donation that she should have made to her damn self. But anyway, they now want her to be assistant pastor of the church. And so she said that she gonna pray about it. And I think that's only because she gave that church that money. And I don't think, again, like we
I
said
agree.
last episode, I would have paid my tithes and offering like I did today, but
I agree.
I wouldn't have gave them the whole thing. I
Yeah,
wouldn't.
I agree. I agree. That's the only reason why Pastor Fleming even said that to her. So I agree.
Taking
I
too long to lock it up. Bring it
bring
back.
it back. Bring it back. Anyway, bring a stat. Yeah, but I
Right.
agree.
Cortland, imagine if Henrietta works with Lamar against BMF. Okay, Cortland, I'm here with you, but I really don't care for it. Like I that would be I just need Lamar. I don't even need Henry. Does that
Mars
make sense?
gone. He's gone.
No, he's just on some stuff
That
right
man
now.
is a crackhead. He's gone.
That don't mean he can't reform, y'all. People can change.
You know how hard it is to get a crackhead off a crack? That man is gone.
People The only reason and you know what's I don't know. I don't know. I especially you see how he loved that dog and he nursed that dog back to health until he couldn't no more. I think Lamar is very resilient when he wants to be. And I
But
think once he figures out or what's the name? The dude that what's his name? I
talking
know
about
his
his
last name is Rawlins.
oh,
Played.
and only talking about Donnell. Talking about
Yeah.
Donnell Wallace, his
But
cousin.
once
Yeah.
the cousin runs out of stuff to give him, and if he's able to stop being dope sick and he actually comes around, I absolutely think he's coming back,
That
and
was
I would
before
love for it.
he was a crackhead though. You gotta remember Monique was the one who got him to even smoke it, which was a setup. And that's how he ended up.
I thought they were bumping it. I didn't think they were smoking it.
Nah, remember she was trying to set him up to smoke it to even get him high, and he caught on. Was like, "Yo, like what you trying to do?" That's how he ended up unaliving her because she wouldn't smoke, and she ended up smoking it. But that's how, and then that's how he ended up. Because remember when Meech was about to take him out, Meech was like, "Nah, you don't deserve the easy way out," and that's when he ended up getting hooked on, on the crack, and then the easy. I mean, the ending of season 2, we see him in the street wandering around like he was out there with a crackhead. So that's why I was like, nah. Once you're a crackhead, it's nah, bro. It's a wrap. We ain't about to see Lamar no time soon. That I will be shocked if they bring that man back.
I don't
I'll be
know
like,
how many crackers you know, and I don't know a lot. Okay, but I do know some. And I don't know if you know about this superpower, super strength they have,
oh, I
but
know.
please believe he might be a crackhead, but Lamar out in these streets running things, okay? He's probably throwing people around. I'm telling you, I think Lamar could be a straight crackhead and still come back and be even crazier than what we once saw because he's a crackhead.
He'll be a yeah. I can
I
see
bet
that. Yeah,
I bet you he'll run up on Meech and fall asleep standing up. It
I
don't
agree with.
matter. It don't matter. It don't matter. Michelle said he gone sad, but dang. Nah, I'm Michelle. Don't give up on Lamar. I'm not. I'm not. We gonna see him sleeping, standing up come season 4. He gonna come back. Lamar would probably try to off Henrietta and take over. As again, because
I
they
mean,
have
he could, but
superhuman strength, y'all. I'm just
Henrietta's
saying.
is in a different area. King Retro can tell, like, she's in that upscale area. So
All right, so then I know the guys probably enjoyed this scene. I personally didn't care for it. We see Angel, she renting out the club so she could, do her tonight I'm gonna put my body on your body, the dance for Meech. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I thought this was a setup at first. I thought she was gonna have somebody come out the back and just off Meech. I just thought that was weird. And Meech is so, oh my God, nobody's ever done nothing like this for me. Renting out a club so they can shake their ass for you. You have a whole house. I'm sorry, this is no shade, but if I was, I'd be like, bitch, I got a whole. I would have been, what's the name? I would have been Ari Fletcher at Meech's house. I would have been upstairs, downstairs, just all over the place shaking my. I wouldn't need to rent out a club. I'm just saying. It makes no sense. But anyway, she wants to thank him. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? So she wants to thank him for, getting Greenie out of her life. Even though I'm like, where's Greenie? So, and then what made me even madder is she gets up here and does this USA gymnastics routine. What the fuck? What is this? I was upset.
okay, so
I was upset. I said, okay, when is she gonna do the running jump? Where they it was really upsetting me. It felt like, put it like this: Tiana's fade video is sexier than what she did. Okay. I'm sorry, that's not Tiana's, it's Kanye's, but it technically should be Tiana's video. But the point is, her went harder than old girl. And I said, if they don't get this USA gymnastics routine off I was so mad. Your thoughts, Fresh?
so so okay. So me and Jack, we talked about it. I didn't understand the significance
It was just
of
so
the
bad.
scene. I was like, okay, I was like, so you rent this out because what? I was like, to dance for him. I was like, yo, I was thinking the same way. I was like, yo, you could have did that at his crib. I was like, so why are we getting you dancing at there for him at the crib? So I was like, okay, so now we getting this saving the last dance scene.
Right.
I was like, where you done turned on some music and I did that whole scene for me.
It was Save the Last Dance.
Save the last dance. That's how I felt. That's what I felt like I was watching. I was
Oh
like,
God.
yo, this scene should have been deleted. Like they
It
should
should have. It should have. They didn't need it. It made no sense to the storyline. It was, but she does let him know that she doesn't feel good about the Remy situation. And she doesn't want to lose him. And then, they proceed to make love in the club like they Usher and Beyonce.
I didn't, like I said, again,
You got that big old house. We would have been, what's the Moneybag Yo and Ari Fletcher.
I was like, yo, he got a whole crib. You could have did that at the crib. He could have came home. You could have sat him in the dining room table, in the dining room chair. You could have did that whole thing. I'm like, you rented out the Platinum Palace or whatever it's called, and you did this. And like I said, you did this whole Save the Last Dance, sing, flash dance. I'm gonna
Yes,
twirl
it was
around the
giving flash
pole,
dance,
kick my feet up,
dirty dancing.
dirty dance. I was like, I had to go back and watch this scene twice.
Why? Why?
Only reason why, because I thought I missed something.
You know what? Do you have Henry issues? Are you inflicting pain on yourself? Because that makes no sense.
I literally, and I don't know if King Retro still in it, is still here, but I literally thought, I was like, okay, maybe I missed something. Maybe she said something to him to this point as to why she's doing this. Because I was like, this scene doesn't make a bit of sense. I ain't never had a chick that rent out the whole club for. I was like, yo, she just giving you a lap dance, bruh. I was like, Could have did that at the crib. She already gave you a lap dance before when Granny was around.
And gave him a better lap dance while she was at the job.
So I didn't understand it. So I thought maybe there was some type of, I was like, okay, maybe there's some type of Easter egg that I missed on this scene. Exactly. It was pointless. I didn't understand it.
Michelle said it was for the viewers' eyes only, shaking my head. It was awful.
It was a trash scene.
It was a
could
trash
delete that
scene.
whole scene.
Rachel said because she was able to get the whole place like that, further makes me believe that Greenie does not own the club. Okay. But do you think, I thought it might have been a different spot. I didn't think it was the Platinum Palace that she brought him to. I thought
it was Platinum Palace.
Oh, it was the same spot?
Mm-hmm.
That was a girl. But okay, I don't know what you mean, Michelle. You gotta explain. Mike Lee said the purpose of that scene was Angel wanted to give Meech a special dance that she doesn't give other men.
Could have did that in the crib.
Thank you, D. Completely unimpressive. It was
in the crib.
It was bad. Cortland said Glock's first plan was with Stacks, but do y'all think that Glock and Greenie have a plan? I'm sure. I like I said, I wish they would go more into where Greenie is, but he's clearly. I'm not naive that he's lurking in the bushes somewhere. He's lurking in the bushes. Yeah. You can't go beat me up, and I let you beat me up, and then think that I ain't gonna retaliate. Exactly. Especially if I got Glock who got my back. So, but anyway, so then we see the scene that Fresh has been dying to talk about. Estelle comes over to report to Lucille that she saw Charles meeting with Sister Riley, and they were holding hands, and she tells him she'll help her pack her shit and that she can get a divorce and move on with the good Dr. Maurice. And then we see Charles walk in after Estelle is left, and Lucille has a bat in her hand. I said, well, okay, she was about to bust the windows out his car. It was coming. And she tells him, get his shit and get out. It was giving real, get your shit and get out. Okay. She tries to explain that he was writing a song for her. Now, then he performs this song. I can't wait to get your thoughts, chat, and Fresh on this song that Charles, performed for her and tells her that even though he knows she has something going on with the good doctor, he won't give up fighting for her. And so, Lucille tells him that he's stuck in the past and she's moving forward with the future. So basically she's like, yeah, I hear what you're saying. And that sounds all good, but I still want to mess with the good doctor. And so he then, tells her he sees her in his past and his future. And, that just does something to her. And then she just leads him upstairs for that good makeup. When it's been a while and you're mad and, that's what happened. Your thoughts on that scene?
Yo, I can't even get the song out without laughing.
Well, I can't remember the song now. How did it go, y'all? How did Charles' song? Charles went to Charlie Wilson.
Oh,
that's exactly. Was that really who was singing the song?
Yo, when that auto tune came, I said,
because it threw me off because I was like, oh, Charles is gonna sing, and then I could tell that he was lip singing, but the voice doesn't match Charles at all, so it just really threw me off.
It don't, but I was like Charles, so I was just like that whole scene. I'm not even gonna lie, I had tears in my eyes because I was laughing so hard. I was laughing so hard. For one, when she had the bat, I was like, oh, she ain't playing. I was like, oh, Lucille, she really bought it. She bought it. Yeah. Charles, I'm sick of your stuff. So I was just like, okay. I was like, yo, this man done play the tape. He done grabbed the guitar. He grabbed the guitar and just start singing, and you just fold. I was like, really? Like you fold that easy? Like you fold that easy?
Was a song. She was ready to throw her panties on the stage.
I was like, really, Lucille? I was like,
Nels would have been so disappointed. Nels would have been absolute. She would have been, again, I think that everything happens for a reason. because Nels would have lit her up.
Hey, you know what's so funny? When I saw the scene, both of y'all, more you trees, popped in my head because I immediately heard you singing Jaheim, gotta find my way.
Gotta find my way back, way back
I can't sing it, so that's why I didn't sing it.
to you.
But I heard y'all voice
baby.
and I started dying laughing. And I was just like, really? And she just like this. And I was just like, you had a bat in your hand, and this man, all he did was play a Maxwell tape. And if y'all not familiar, for our younger people, back in the days, there was tapes that was made by a company named Maxwell.
Oh, I said Maxwell was out back then.
So
I mean, I had tapes. I just don't think I knew the name of them.
So there were Maxwell tapes. I'm like, he pulled out a Maxwell tape and played the background and just grabbed this guitar, which is an electric guitar on top of that, and just started playing without hooking that electric guitar up, and just started singing auto-tune, and then she just melts and she just, and then they go upstairs. I was like, man, if you don't get this, bull. I was like, really? Lucille, you just fold like that? But when we get to that other scene, which I know we're gonna get to,
I'll let Nels know you really rep for her. She'll be.
Yeah.
You definitely filled her spot.
I was not with it. I was like, really, Lucille? I was like, you gonna fold like that? Awesome, little, we did. I can't sing, so I'm not even gonna try to sing. But it wasn't meant to be, and all. I was like, really? I was like, you just fold like that? I was like, okay, Lucille. I was like, I see what it is. I mean, I get it. You still love them.
It's so funny. I don't know why when you said that, it reminded me of this meme that I saw a long, long time ago, and they have Stevie J sitting at a piano, and this is during Love and Hip Hop when he was going through it with Mimi and Jocelyn. And he sat down and sang her the song, and the meme is like, if you want her to forgive you, or if you want her back, just sing that bitch a song. And that's exactly what it just gave me. Just sing that bitch a song. And shit.
I already know what you're talking about.
Right.
That's one of my favorite scenes from Love and Hip Hop.
Right. When you sitting there singing it, Lord. Okay. Corlin said Glock's first plan was with Stacks, but do y'all think Glock? Oh, we already read that. My bad. Yep. Jack said that dance was not good at all. No, it wasn't. Estelle was wilding. Jack, he be over here with the, conscious police. I guess it's Easter, Jesus Day. I'm gonna give it to you, but he want everybody to do right. Cortland said it's kind of sounded like Estelle wants Lucille. Why is she so focused on making sure Charles is out? Oh, no, I just think she want her friend to get some, Cortland. Yeah. I just think she want. Yeah, she sees a man. She sees a man with more money, who clearly wants her and can give her a lifestyle that Charles was never able to provide. And if you remember, she missed out on all that because she chose Charles the first time. So I think Estelle is just being her good homegirl or cousin or whatever she is, trying to make her realize, like, girl, this is your second chance, and you better take it and stop choosing Charles. But we see all it takes is for Charles to sing to her. Mm-hmm. Oh, we didn't see it coming.
Yeah, that's what it was.
We didn't see it coming.
Watch out.
We were moving too fast.
He said that, hit that little.
And now we're slipping. Yes. Shout out, Jack. Yes.
I was like, if he don't get this BS out of here, get this bullshit out of here.
Was that scene with Charles and Lucille kind of cringe? It was a little bit. It was a little bit cringy. And Michelle is cracking up. Thing was, Lucille back ain't been cracked in a while. Her mind was telling her no, but her body was telling her yes. Okay.
Yep, sure was.
Cortland said Estelle was still upstairs while Charles was singing, wasn't she?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Do it. I love y'all in the chat. And if I would really love, because I see we got maybe like 11, 12 likes. It's almost 30 of y'all in here. So please make sure y'all hit that like.
Yeah, y'all make sure y'all like.
Look, D said, yeah, music don't affect me like that. Damn, Lucille. Nah, look, we got some stories, D. Somebody write you a song. It's supposed to mean something.
Yeah, they cousins.
Yeah, Estelle and Lucille are cousins, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whoo, Lord, that was funny. I didn't expect
Oh
all
man,
that.
Maggot King retro. Now all I hear is that. All I hear is that stuck in my head.
Right. Now, Angel is leaving for work. And while Meech is working on his vision board, I said, look, it's so profound. I didn't know people was even doing vision boards back then, but okay.
Exactly.
And look, clearly he's manifested, so I ain't mad at Meech. He was hip. Now, Mo's sister comes by. What's her name? I didn't get a name. You don't know her name either.
Which one?
Mo's sister. I want to call her
Oh,
Nikki, but that's not her name.
Tina.
Is that her name, Tina?
Yeah, Tina.
Oh no, that's not, is that her sister or cousin?
No, that's her cousin. That's her
Okay.
cousin. That's her cousin.
So, and basically she reports to Meech that she's been watching stacks like Meech asked her to do, and basically he's playing them. So T overhears all this and realizes that Meech had eyes on him the whole time. So basically, I think T kind of feels like, damn, you told me he was good, but really you've been watching him. So basically, you've been keeping me like in the clouds, and that's not really cool. And so she tells him that the MKs are the ones that off Diesel, not Remy. So Meech realizes he was about to get ambushed. He plans to flip this to his advantage. So he instructs Angel to get with the dancers that not Glock, Remy was messing with at the club. And she's like, cool, because we in everybody's ear, everybody's pocket. And he tells her, you know, he has a message that he needs her to deliver. I didn't really understand the scene because did he ever deliver the message?
Nope.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I thought it was just me. I said, if you ended up having to go confront him in person anyway, what message was delivered?
He never did. At least we didn't see. But yeah, he never did. I was the same way because when he said that, I thought it was gonna be like, oh, okay, he
Go
about to
tell
deliver.
Remy, da 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 da. Yeah.
And when he showed up at Techwood and Remy was like, oh, you coming to wave the white flag, I was like, oh, so you never even sent the message through Angel. So I was just like,
Or
okay.
Angel didn't give it. Da 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 da.
Oh damn, it's not on.
Right. Because I still don't trust her.
I thought my board was on. I was about to go hit that.
Yeah. Now, then we see Duffy, he's going off about finding Stax's, you know, betrayed them. Meech instructs him not to worry about him, and he plans on making a temporary deal with Remy. So this is when we learn that he plans to go to Techwood that afternoon in broad daylight. Nobody, again, thinks this is a smart decision, but they agree to ride with him. I'm going to be honest with you. I love my friends, but there's a lot of things I'm not going to do. And what I'm not going to do is, one, join you on a unaliving myself mission. Right? That's what I'm not doing. And that's exactly what that was. That was you're going to maybe, you're not going to come back. You really were going to war. You're going to battle and you might not make it out. And if I won't do it for the USA, I damn sure ain't doing it for my friends. I'm just letting you know. So, so yeah, and then oh damn, my bad, I lost my place. And so basically, yeah, nobody says this is smart, but they agree to ride with him, and then Meech lets them know that once they've taken care of the MKs, they can finish what Remy started, and Ty can finally rest in peace. So we know that's his goal, is to avenge Ty's death, because Lord knows Ty was a very loyal, faithful, fine friend. He was. Yeah, I miss Ty. Rest in peace, Ty. But your thoughts on that?
Treese miss, as y'all can hear, Treese, she misses Ty.
I miss this Ty. I do.
I mean, when I heard it, I knew immediately, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was Meech's end goal. You know, I kind of felt like I knew his end goal by that point. You know what I'm saying? Like, he kind of set it up by that time. It was just like, but matter of fact, by this point, I knew where the rest of the episode was going to go.
Right.
By that time, I knew what it, because it. I mean, not saying it was predictable, because I mean, in a sense, it was, but I knew where the rest of that episode was going to go, because that's what I said. The name of it was the Battle of Techwood. So once I heard that, saw that, I knew exactly where it was going to go after that.
Right. Cortland said, y'all think Angel is playing Meech? I do. I still don't trust her. I still don't trust her. Greenie and Glock may have Angel on the inside of BMF. I absolutely agree. I don't trust her. Cortland, that's probably one thing we can agree on tonight. For real. I'm with you on that. I don't trust her. I never y'all know I ain't never liked her since she came in here. I just don't she because somebody who has nothing to lose but their backpack has nothing to lose. And those are the worst people to worry about, the people that have nothing to lose.
I'm I'm 50-50 only because
Because you
like
feel bad for her ass.
nah, I don't feel bad for it.
Oh,
Nah.
that
It's
be
like
Jack. That be Jack taking up for her.
that's Jack.
That's just Jack.
Like sh- uh she is, I kind of feel like at the same time like she is like possibly playing him because like Jack has said before, she's so used to Greenie where like DeAndre, like she is slippery. Like she's playing him because she's so used to Greenie,
Right.
and maybe it could be a point where we haven't seen that scene as of yet where Glock is threatening her life. So, she is getting information, you know, for Glock. But it's like at the same time, it's kind of hard to even see it because it's just like we haven't seen her ask Meech like any type of things to where like he can give her information to where he can report back to Greenie or Glock. Like we haven't seen him, you know what I'm saying? Like she
That's what
haven't.
he keeps her out, kind of outside of it, but she's
Yeah,
still around for conversations and stuff.
yeah.
That I feel like she's just too, again. If you just sleeping with the girl, sleep with the girl. But now you over here trying to make her your homie, lover, friend, and I just ain't. I ain't here
And we
for it.
about to get a new love character when he goes to St. Louis anyway, when Saweetie comes in. So
Let's hope so. I look, and I felt
oh,
like somebody mentioned it um earlier, but I feel like Greenie may end up taking her out.
that could be possible.
I wouldn't be sad if I wasn't. If it wasn't for them coming from the same sack, T would not be BMF, or at least not a leader. He's not strategic on the war end of things. He's too emotional. I absolutely agree, Jack. Did y'all just call me Tinder DJ? We did kind of call you Tinder D for Angel. We absolutely
Under
did.
D,
Yeah, Tinder D. So then we see Detective Jen. She
Tender
sees a
Jack.
paper about what happened?
No, I was just saying Tender Jack of George.
Oh, got it. Detective Jen sees a paper about Detective Emerson's father running for re-election. She says that she's a little bit resentful and she's not answering his calls because her father didn't come to visit her while she was in rehab because of how it would make him look and the perception of it all.
hmm
And instead decided to parade her brothers around on the campaign trail. So she knows that now he wants to reach out to her because she's a police officer and he's doing this whole campaign against drugs. So he just wants to use her to help him. And so Detective Jen lets Emerson know, hey, by the way, I got something to tell you, but I can't tell you here. So let's go outside somewhere else and let's talk about it. And so, they decide to leave headquarters so she can give her some tea. And so, what do you think about that scene? I think it was just, I'm now that we know what we know, I think it was setting us up with, oh, because she was, as we know in another scene, she talks about letting go of her resentment and stuff like that. And so, that's why I said I don't think we're gonna see her no more.
I mean, when she said that, I was like, okay, she's finally about to give the spill on Detective Bryant. But I didn't see the foreshadowing of what was going to happen to Detective Amberson. Like I didn't see that. So I was just like,
I didn't
oh,
see it happening like that, but I knew something. I knew they were setting us up for her to no longer be here. I will tell you this: I definitely thought we were going to end up with a love scene between them before she did go. So I was just, again, I hate to say thankful, but I just didn't want to see a love scene between them. So I was like, you know what? If you had to take her out, that's what we had to do. That's what we had to do because
so
that was coming. They were setting us up for that.
I swore on everything when she said she was like, oh yeah, and I know we're kind of jumping. I know we're kind of jumping scenes, but when she said, "Oh yeah, take to the hot, tell you,
Then you were
and
about to say take it to the hot tub. But go
yeah, take it to the hot
ahead.
tub. Sitting in the hot tub. When they was in the crib and they was doing the whole, going back and forth, and she told her about Bryant, etc., or whatever. And then when she brought out that whole record that her sister used to sing, and she was like, "Oh yeah, we need to get a little bit more drunk." That's when I thought, I was like, "Oh, here's the scene."
Here
I
it
was like,
go. Here it go.
"We finally about to get the scene." I was
Right.
like, "Here it
Oh,
go."
it definitely was coming. It was coming.
I felt for sure. I was shocked we did not get that scene. I was for sure. I was like, "Oh, yep, here we go." I was like, "Here's the scene. Now they about to get drunk off the Miller Lite, which is water." And
The Coors Light.
I was like, which is nothing. And I was like, "Oh, they about to get lit and they about to keep singing and then they about to start singing." I was like, for sure, I thought they were gonna start singing Endless Love and they was gonna look in each other's eyes, and that was what it was gonna be. And it was just gonna be like My Endless Love, and they was gonna look in each other's eyes, and then we was
Yeah,
gonna get the thing.
oh, that's funny. So then we see Meech and T. They pull up in Techwood. Meech and the crew. They pull up in Techwood as planned. Stacks spies or his little do girl lets him know that Meech and the crew were there. And then we see Bryant. Now this is sad. If y'all ain't got your glasses, get them. Take a big gulp. Trigger warning. Okay, ahead of time, trigger warning. I ain't got no trigger warning thing, but I do need to run this across the screen because if y'all feel would like to, and it's Easter Sunday, and what do they say? Come to the front. Come to the
Yep.
front. Is there one? Would you like to donate to the channel? It's running across the screen right there in the Cashapp, or you can become a member and help the channel out as well.
Just like and subscribe.
Right, or just like and subscribe because that's free 99. But are you the one? Is today your Sunday? That's all I'm saying. Anyway, now, so Brian goes to visit Kevin, y'all, and he sees he's been badly beaten. He asks who did it to him, and Kevin explains the people that were supposed to be protecting him are now hurting him. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was on the verge of almost like shedding a little bit of tear for Kevin. I was hurt watching this scene. And then Kevin also lets him know that while he was sleeping, they basically held him down and essayed him and I think y'all can figure that out. We don't need to put it in the comments, but we figured out what, he was assaulted. You need to know that, but we won't use the other word. And Bryant, I'm not gonna lie to you, because I'm a parent, I knew there was nothing that Bryant could do, but there's just no way my child is gonna tell me that that's happened to them, and I'm gonna be able to walk away and say, just hold on.
No.
Like that broke me. I would love to know y'all comments in the chat. Again, it can be triggering. If it's too much for y'all, I get it. But yeah, this was personally a hard scene to watch. Go ahead, Fresh.
Oh no, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you good.
It was just two things. One, I didn't when this scene, like, because you know how they show, like, the ratings on the beginning of the episode. Like, I didn't put two and two together. I just saw the thing and I was like, "Oh, okay, whatever." And they gave a little warning, and then as soon as this scene came, I said, "Oh," so I already knew how it was going to end. But two, there is no way. I was like, "Yo, okay, I get it. Your pops, like Detective Bryant, is like quote unquote suspended." But I was like, "Yo," I was still lost because I was like, "Yo, all of this happened." I was like, "Yo, why is this little boy not in PC? Why he's not in protective custody?"
Mm-hmm.
Because I
And
was
because
like,
because you're officer's kid.
I was like, his pops is an officer, so I
Right.
was just like, if this whole thing happened after this, he should have been in PC, and Bryant should have been like, "Hey, yo, I get it. I'm on." You know what I'm saying? Like, and I get it. He's on suspension, etc., or whatever. But still, at the end of the day, like, yo, he's still an officer kid. He
Right.
should have been in PC. It should not have even got to that point. So when I heard him say, as soon as I saw him, I knew immediately. And I'm not even gonna lie, I muted that whole scene because
Oh, I remember when he said, "Oh," and this, I already knew what he was gonna say.
I didn't even want to hear it. because I knew it was coming. Because I remember, because as soon as I saw it, I remember back to the the ratings of the episode, and I was like, yeah, I was like, nah, I don't even want to hear that. And I was just like, and while I'm watching it on mute, I'm looking at Bryant's face, and I'm like, yo, like immediately I was thinking he was just gonna be like, yo, guard.
Right. Like there was nobody you could talk to. There was nobody. And I understand that these systems are broken. Do not get me wrong, people. I'm not ignorant to that. I watch enough documentaries on our broken
Exactly.
justice system, prison system. I understand that. However, I just as a parent myself, I wouldn't have went home that day knowing my child was going right back to the same place where he was violated. I
Exactly.
personally couldn't do it. I don't know what I would have to do. Look, I don't, and there might be nothing I could do, but I wouldn't sit and look him in his face and say, "Oh, hold on." I don't know. That broke my heart. That
The
was a
way
lot.
he just kept saying, I promise I'm gonna get you out. And I was like, bruh, you are a cop. There's no way you can't tell me you was like, yo, I got you. Cause immediately it should have hit you. As soon as you saw him, like, oh, you know what? Henrietta pulled the detail. All
Right,
right, let me get on this horn. And you could have easily called Henrietta's pops and just be like, yo, I need you to move my son into PC.
right.
So I was so lost. I was like, yo, and as soon as I saw that, I was like, yo, I didn't even want to see the rest of the episode as far as it came to him. I
I
was
agree with
like,
you. I agree
I
with
don't
you.
want to
After
sit
that
here
scene, I was good. I really was kind of. I
because
was
I
like,
knew what was coming, and I was like, yo, I was like, yeah,
and I hate
y'all
to say
trying.
it, but I did predict it. I said that I maybe not in that
Yep.
fashion, but I said something's gonna happen to him, and he's
Oh
not.
yeah, we said it last week. Yeah.
Yeah, and I said he's not gonna be able to deal with it.
Yeah, I was like, y'all trying to make me shed a thug tear, and I'm not even about to do it. And I was like,
Right.
yo, I don't even want to see it. And
It's crazy. Cortland said Bryant interrupts before Jen can even start kissing her. So you thought that was coming too. Okay, so it's not just us. D said, yes, the scene was extremely heartbreaking. Jack said the scene was so sad. Enjoyed the show, but he got to go to work early. Thank you, Jack. Um,
appreciate you, Jack.
yeah, Henrietta is evil. She absolutely is. Um, D, yes, Fresh. Why isn't Brian using his privilege as a detective? I'm sure somebody has to owe him a favor.
Hell yeah.
And D, to your point, and I think we said that somebody had already said in the chat, if he was smart, if T had any pull, which clearly he does with judges and things like that, because he's using it for his own advantage. If he really wanted to, he could have worked with T and probably protected his son a little bit more. But he's so stubborn and so out to get them. That's why I said once after this whole thing, I'm sure we're really gonna see Bryant being T and Meech's ass after this.
Nah, I think it's. Well, once we get to the end, I'll talk more on that. But yeah, nah,
Mm. Cortland said Henrietta's dad may allow Bryant to offer.
nah.
No, you don't think so?
I
Uh,
mean, but
I don't know. Michelle said Kev knew right then his dad was full of SHI and saying, hold on. Right,
yeah,
right.
because he been
Nobody,
saying that since he got locked up. I promise
right.
I'm gonna get you out. So
And I think Kevin just broke and it's crazy. Anyway, next thing, y'all, that was heavy. So Detective
yes,
Jen is sharing with Detective Emerson about Bryant being the driver of the ambulance. Jen says that they need to get Bryant's help in finding out who this Henry person is. Emerson agrees not to snitch on her, but asks, for full transparency moving forward. She plans to arrest Bryant after they turn in their, findings to Gar. And then Emerson then reveals that she plans on calling her father back and whether it be good or bad. And this is when I think they decide they're going to do karaoke
yep,
and stare into each other's eyes.
yep. Off the Miller Light, off that water,
Right. Off the water. They feel
off
a
the
little
water,
bit.
because that's what Miller Light is, water.
You stupid. Then we see Meech and the crew. They're in the Techwood. As we all know, they all on ready. Remy comes outside with Claude to address Meech. He asks if, as first said earlier, is he there to wave a white flag? Meech lets him know they're always going to be enemies based on what happened to Ty. And then he lets him know that the MKs are planning to ambush them later that night. Remy is unsure if he should even believe Meech, which I wasn't mad at Remy for that. That's a valid concern.
Mm-hmm.
Um, And Meech lets them know that he's looking at the bigger picture and that they need to ambush the MKs instead. Which Remy says that he's going to protect his own neighborhood as he always does, and he has no desire to do anything with Meech, which was stupid on his end. And so Meech reminds him the MKs have military style artillery and they're going to leave the neighborhood in pieces, which they did if he continues to remain stubborn. And Claude agrees, like, yo, oh boy, got a point. Did Claude get taken out too, or is Claude still there?
Claude is still there.
Okay. And then Remy says, well, screw y'all. And then they end up pulling their, pow pows on each other. And it's a duel. I challenge you to a duel. That's what I was getting. Your thoughts on that scene?
Okay. Because I don't want to wrap folks up. I'm trying to make it quick as possible. I had a whole problem with that whole shootout only because maybe two, three things. One, I was like, okay, yo, I get it. You're going to Techwood because you're trying to, you're trying to come together to take out MKs. So I
Right.
was like, okay, cool, I get it. But I was like, one, nobody in BMF. I was like, it was only like what, 8, maybe 10 of y'all. I was like, you're going to Techwood. None of y'all had bulletproof vests on. I'm like, we're talking 93. So it's like none of y'all had vests on. Okay. I
Right.
was like, two, I was
They
like,
went in there with them. I'm not a gun expert. I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm not
no,
a
go ahead.
I'm not a pow pow expert by any means. But what they rolled up in there with and compared to, I just was like, that it was like showing up to a pow pow fight with a knife.
That was my second point. I was like, yo, you already know you and Techwood, y'all quote unquote beefing because of the whole Ty Washington thing, etc. or whatever. So I'm like, at any given time in your mind, like, yo, this might go wrong. I'm like, yo, all of y'all are going in there with Berettas. Y'all going in there with pistols.
Right.
Meanwhile, Remy Ransom, his whole crew, even though they don't have quote unquote military grade, I'm like, yo, they all got I'm like, most of them got machine guns. I was like,
Right.
they got Tech Nines, they got Mac 10s, they got Uzis, they got V61s. I'm like, they good. They can take y'all out. At no point in time
How
did
do you
y'all
know
think
so
like,
much
you know
about
what?
these instruments?
I'm like, at no point in time did y'all think, let us up our armor. Y'all just went in that joint with just straight quote unquote, y'all, like I said, just pistols. Y'all went in there with Berettas. And at no point in time did we see anybody from your squad have a extra clip reload their Berettas, which is why Rip ended up getting taken out and why y'all ran out of bullets because all of them from Techwood had SMGs, which is semi machine guns. So I was like, yo, they good. I was just like, I'm not understanding, like, why would you even do that? And then as soon as he say it, you know what I'm saying, MKs come through, they all
Right.
got choppers. And as soon as them choppers come through, I was like, bro, I was like, this whole shootout scene, I was like, it's so unrealistic because I was like, there's no way with choppers that y'all going to be sitting there and fighting back with those little Berettas, especially when Duffy was like, "Oh, we just gonna make sure it counts."
Right.
And I was like, "Why y'all didn't do that from Jump Street?" I was like, "Y'all got them little bit." I was like, "They got choppers," and I was like, "They got about 40, 50 dudes." I was like, "It's like 10 of y'all."
Okay, so we skipping ahead big time, but I'm gonna say it.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
That no, it's fine. Because I mean, might as well. So yeah, Fresh talks about them pulling up, and everybody's pow powing, doing their thing. Bodies are dropping left and right. Um, my whole thing was I don't know with the scene, but when they were behind the mailboxes, I said, is a chopper really not just eating that up, and that's not no bullets are flying through that? Because they acted like that was really like a form of protection, and I was like, no, sir, no, sir, no, sir.
I can neither confirm or deny.
Right? Do we need to do the Men in Black pin? Do we need to do the
Yeah,
Men in Black pin
I
tonight?
can neither, I can neither confirm. Wait, my joint's I can even confirm or
Right.
deny that. Yeah, Chopper easily. That's a
Right,
level.
break right through that. So I found that to be very unbelievable as well. Because I was like, all you gotta do is stand behind a mailbox. I said, nah, it's not giving that. But one sad part, we get another sad, heavy scene. We see the little boy,
Milton.
Milton, thank you. Milton, he comes in strapped, comes to what's his name? Remy. Remy
Yep.
is getting at this point, it seemed like Remy was getting cornered by Glock.
Yeah, because Rummy was out of bullets.
Yeah, and he had ran into the house, and the little boy comes in with the strap, and he's like, "Oh, I want to help." And Remy's looking at him like, "Boy, get out of here! What are you doing?" And before he can even get him out of the way, or Glock lights him up, and I think at the time he knew what he was doing because he said, "No mercy." I don't know if you caught that part. He said, "No mercy" for any, but so I feel like he knew he was aiming at that little boy and didn't care.
Oh yeah, nah. I figured that out as soon as it happened, and then we saw that the joint where Meech looked because he looked like surprised, like, and that's when he was just like, "Oh, yo,
And that's
Glock."
another thing. I felt like Meech was a little bit into a state of shock to be for that to be a real he should have been gone. He was too much in a shell stock, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
shell shock type of state to be in that type of environment because he definitely should have been gone.
yeah. I
Or
think
at
it
least
was.
hit. At least hit.
No, I think that's what it was. I think it was just like he was in shock because he had never seen someone that's just like they don't have that
Conscience.
yeah, they don't have that conscience
They had
and
that
just
moral
took that little
compass check.
kid out because immediately Glock was just like, I don't care. Because there's no way in the world Glock didn't see Milton standing at that door because he immediately just opened fire and just took him out. So it was just like, and that's when he was like, "Oh, yo, Glock is different. Like we don't do this back in Detroit. Like I'm dealing with something different. Like okay." So yeah, but I knew as soon as I saw Lil Milton come in, I said, "Yeah, he about to get taken out." I said, "Damn."
I wasn't expecting Lil Milton. I wasn't ready for Lil Milton.
I
But
mean,
then
I wasn't expecting it, but when he came in, it was just like, "I got you." Like, come on, I got. And he was like, "Where you get that?" I was mad because I was just like, "Yo, Remy, grab him and pull him down. Like, yo, get
right.
down. Like, bullets is flying." But I was like, "Yeah, he about to get taken out." And sure enough, I was like, "Yeah, Milton gone."
And you know what's so crazy? During this whole scene, I feel like I didn't any outside of Rip, like me realizing Rip got caught. Outside of that, I felt like I recognized every other innocent bystander that got hit. Like there was one random lady that was trying to run. Like that's just how I think. Like y'all in this lifestyle, so no shade, but that's on y'all. But
Yeah.
it was the innocent people just trying to be able to run in the house for me that really broke my heart. And poor little Milton that I was like, oh, that's really messed up. But
Yeah,
anyway, so
once the
yeah,
cops came in, I was like,
and the dad comes in, he blames Remy and for his son's unfortunate demise and was like, you said you was gonna protect us, and it was just really sad.
I
So
was like, man, y'all trying to make me cry thug tears on this episode,
right.
and I'm not doing it.
Right. And so as we say, we see, T and Duffy hiding behind this mailbox, but they realize they're outnumbered. Meech is still watching from afar. That's when we see Rip get taken out by Glock. Glock is just taking people out by himself on his own. And then Meech goes to help Rip out and get him out the battlefield. And then gives him it definitely gave me some type of Saving Private Ryan as he's sitting there, bleeding out, and he's like, you fought the good fight, you sir, and he's like, your music, I'm gonna make sure your music gets out there so everybody will remember you through your music. And I was like, well, that's a great departing. I don't know. I was like,
Nah,
okay.
you're not by yourself because when I heard that, I was like, Meech. I was like, what that got to do with? I was like, bruh, what that got to do with right now?
Right.
I
Right.
was like, bruh's gone. I was like,
Not even that, bruh is gone and you're still in danger.
exactly. I was like, you're still in danger. I was like, they coming at y'all with choppers. I was like, you hide behind this joint. I was like, first of all, Rip shouldn't have never. I was like, he shouldn't have never moved. I was like, if you know what choppers, you do not move because it's almost like
They spray.
it's like this much of a chance
Right.
where you can get through not getting hit. So I was like, okay, he gets hit. I was like, and then what was also unrealistic on that scene for me that kind of annoyed me, it was just like he goes and then T out of nowhere just goes and pick up. I was like, oh, this Grand Theft Auto. T just goes, picks up the chopper, and he just shoots. I was like, we ain't never seen T in no type of gun battle at all. And now all of a sudden he just goes and picks up the chopper and like
Well,
he's
he
shooting
did just
back.
come from the range, so maybe he thought he was, he knew something.
You know what? I didn't even think about that. You know what?
Yeah,
You're right.
they had just came from the range.
That's
Remember,
right. You know what? You're right. I ain't even think about that. I ain't even think about that at
he
all.
was feeling himself. But yeah, they're basically getting overpowered by the MK boys, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, and this is what I thought was so strange. Maybe you can explain it to me. Sterl and the PA boys pull up, help them at least get out of the way of danger. And Stacks is, they get away, and Stacks is like, "Oh, and don't y'all come back," and talking all this junk, and Glock decides to unalive him for not doing the job well enough. And
I
I'm not
can't.
gonna lie, it was the for me. It was the for me.
I
I
can't
said,
explain it.
is that what the
So
director told you to do? Because that's when I'm not even gonna lie to you. That's when I felt the acting was most terrible, was his scene when it was time for him to go.
it was because if for anybody who watched this episode, if you didn't pay attention, just go back and watch that scene. The person who ends up getting unalive is not Two Chains. It's a what they call it, the body double or the stunt man.
Oh,
You see
really?
you see the stunt man. The stunt man is the one who ends up getting unalive. You don't see Two Chains face again until like it's done. Just go back and watch that scene. So
You're gonna make me go back and watch it. Okay.
I was mad at the scene because immediately I was like, yo, that's not Two Chains. I said, I don't know who that dude is, but that's not Two Chains. I said, so y'all bringing it back to like, uh, I'm gonna get you sucker, where like it's almost on purpose. We're like, we
Right.
can tell that's not it. So, but I I'm I can't answer your question because I have to go back and watch it again. I don't know who called Sterl and them to come. Me and Jack, we spoke about this. They pop up, but we was trying to figure out one, who called them, and then two, how did they even know to come to Techwood to even.
Maybe that was the message. But then they were never in the club. I'm just reaching. I don't know, but I'm just trying to figure out because it just makes no sense. They didn't have time to call them if they're in Detroit. They did. It just doesn't make sense why they would have been hanging around Atlanta. Coincidentally, y'all jump in the chat. Let us know what y'all
Yeah.
think. But
Yeah, y'all let us know because that part right there, I was
I was
lost
confused. Yeah,
because I was confused too. Like when Sterl and Hoop and them showed up, I was just like, who called them? And
maybe T because he didn't
somebody
trust.
sold it. Somebody said, and I saw this. It was like T was the one who called them, but I was just like, okay, granted, T did, but I was like, how did they know to come to Techwood though?
Right.
Like at some point, y'all would have had to known to come to Techwood. So I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. That they do need to kind of clear that up. Cortland said, if Remy and Meech unalive Glock, do y'all think they would have immediately started shooting at each other? I
Yeah.
think you think so.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think after that melee, you just be so happy that you made it out. I don't think that, but I guess yeah, because you still got the enemy on the other side. Rip should have stayed at that studio, absolutely. But
True.
hard head make a soft ass.
Mm-hmm.
They always have to add a kid getting unalived in these shows. Now I know, and that's the one thing I don't like. But I mean, we saw Milton from the jump. We knew, Milton had aspirations to,
Yep.
do what he saw. He
Yeah,
kind of
we knew that.
idolized Remy. So I would have rather it be Remy, like saving his life, if that makes sense. Like losing. Oh, of
Mhm.
course I would
I
freeze, right?
thought at one point I thought that's what was going to happen, but it didn't happen.
Oh, and of course I would freeze. This, gotta love it. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can say, hey, you good.
Okay. So we're gonna get through this, y'all, because yeah, I'm freezing now. Because I guess I look, we don't hit the 2 hour mark. So anyway, we see Lucille. She's out here fantasizing about Dr. Maurice. Am I right or wrong?
Oh yeah, she is. She is.
Then Charles walks in the room, and she tells him he's acting like a horny teenager. So she tells him she'll give it to him one time, and then he needs to go back to his room. So clearly they're not back together like we thought they were.
Okay, so oh my
Your
god.
thoughts?
So
I'm so
this
mad. I'm
scene,
stuck.
you good, but this scene, so I was lost because I was like, okay, you fantasize about a doctor. And then I was just like, you gave him some, but you got him still sleeping in Terry's rooms. I was like, what part of the game is that?
Right.
I was like, what part of the game is that? And then you was like, okay, well, hurry up. You got 15 minutes. And this man, Charles, was so excited. Oh, let me hurry up. And I was just like, yo, what? I was like, wait a minute. I was like, bruh. I was like, bro, I was like a kid in the candy store. He hurried up, was like, oh, I'm about to make sure I get these 15 minutes. I was just like, I didn't understand it because I was just like, yo, you gave him some early. So why is he in Terry's
Because
room?
that's her way of letting him know you good, but you're not good, good.
I didn't understand it. It was
You're
just
not
one of
good.
them.
You're not good, good yet. I let you, because it's been a while and it's been a long time, but you're not good, good yet.
I just that whole scene, and then like I said, just the way she was just like, okay, I'll give you 15 minutes, and he hurried up, and I was just like, yo, I was like, really? I was like, okay,
Right. Then we see Bryant. He arrives at the hospital. This heavy scene. Have another drink, y'all. I know it's almost midnight, but you know. And basically we learn that the nurse or the man lets him know. Well, was it the hospital or was it like the infirmary at the joint?
it was that infirmary.
Okay. But he lets him know that yeah, Kevin, we see Kevin's gone. I don't think he
Yeah,
said much at all actually. But he lets him know that Kevin's gone, and he left a note, and Kevin wrote that, basically you'll always be my hero. But he's just not like him. And so yeah, it was sad, but we knew it was coming. So I can't say that I'm too surprised, unfortunately. And then we end the episode with Meech. She's talking about Rip's memory when Sterling Hoop let them know that, basically, I'm always ready to ride. And so T asked him if he's ready to get to the airport because he's still on the St. Louis stuff. And Meech lets him know that he's not going. He lets him know that loyalty is not just a word, but a lifestyle. I kind of agree with Meech on this one. I'm very big on loyalty. Um, and he's not leaving his family down there, even though he's only known them for like 5 minutes. And so Terry tries to remind him that Detroit is home, but Meech says he's not running. And they may have lost the battle, but the war continues. So Terry tells him he wants to make sure he's safe. And Meech reassures him that he's good and to take care of his family in Detroit. He'll take care of Atlanta. And then Terry basically just talks about being worried about the battle that he has to fight against Henry alone once he gets back.
yeah.
Because that's really why he wanted Meech back.
Hmm.
So, yeah, your thoughts on the end of that?
I mean, the ending, as far as um, like I said, as far as the Kevin joint, like that joint, I barely could watch it, especially once I saw the little whole neck joint because I knew it was coming, and it reminded me back to the ratings of the episode, and I was like, I didn't think like I said, we said last week we knew Kevin was going to go. I didn't know he was going to go like that. So once I
Right.
saw it, once I literally, I was like, man, I was like, damn. Like I said again earlier, I was like, y'all trying to make me shit a thug here. I was just like, this is not what I wanted to see. So it threw me off, but like I said, we saw it coming. So I know going forward now, Detective Bryant, he's going to be like quote unquote, he's going to go ham on try. He's probably going to go ham on trying to shut down T as well as Henry, because if y'all didn't pay attention in, I think it was this season, the first episode, or maybe it was the first episode of last season, Detective Bryant was the one in St. Louis when they locked up T. He was there, so we know that Detective Bryant was there. As far as the rest of it, you know what I'm saying, that was kind of just like, yeah, I knew, Meech wasn't going nowhere. Meech, he was gonna stay in Atlanta, like he said. He told him earlier, like, loyalty is just not a lifestyle. So I mean, I already knew off the jump, it is what it is. I knew he wasn't gonna leave. So, I knew he was gonna stay there in Atlanta. So,
Right.
but yeah, just the whole Kevin thing just messed me up. I was just like, this is not, and I'm not gonna go into full detail, but it was just something that I was just like, yeah, man, y'all could have did this some different type of way. Like it messed me up a little bit. I was like, this ain't something I wanted to see. So
Oh, yeah. No, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. It was sad. It was. But all right, y'all. So yes, I'm sorry. I'm stuck and frozen and I can't get it together. But I want to thank y'all for coming through, staying with us for 2 hours. It's 37 of y'all watching. I appreciate it. Please make sure, if you haven't already, that you've hit the like button and you subscribe, that you following us on all the platforms, as well as TSF Entertainment, and DJ Fresh Your Highness, and Shadeinthecity, of course, because y'all are here. And yeah, follow us on the Twitter, the Facebook, the Instagram, and what's the other one? Don't get me wrong, and the TikTok. That the TikTok. But yeah, y'all, we appreciate you. We love you. We thank you, and we will catch you next week for another recap of what is this? BMF. BMF.
yeah,
Good
BMF
night.
episode 6.
Yes, thank you. Now, if it'll let me end it, that's the thing.
Oh. Oh, y'all. Well, she ended, and it's just me. So I don't know what else to do because it won't let me end it. So, like Tree said, appreciate everybody slide through. Y'all make sure to go to like and subscribe to Shading the City as well as TSF Entertainment. Appreciate everybody coming through and hanging out with us tonight, for BMF. And we hope everybody had a good night as well as a good Easter. So, deuces. I don't know what Treese. Treese has to come back through and end the live. I can't end the live. So, I'm going to try to keep going forward a little bit until she comes back through and ends the live, but I can't necessarily end the live. So, you know, um, let me Chalet. Yes, you have a good night as well. Cortland, to ask you a question, what y'all think will Bryant try to kill Henrietta? I think he probably will. He's probably will, or he's probably going to try to talk to Blaze, which is her pops, to try to get you know, get the green light to take her out. Cortland also says, wasn't Lucille not giving Charles what he wanted before Charles cheated? You know what, Cortland, you are 100% correct, because she was not. She was not giving him. She wasn't giving him that. So, and that's what he ended up doing. So, you know, but hopefully at some point, I am going to hope that Trees from Shading City, she comes back and she ends up ending this live. Like I said, once again, I appreciate everybody sliding through in the chat. Like I said, go like and subscribe, and we will catch y'all next week for BMF episode 6.